Hello there, World of Tankers. Welcome to the channel. Hopefully all of you are doing well out there. I'm, of course, your host, Tanks Blitz, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the pz.stfl 4. This, of course, is a Tier 5 German collector that actually used to be on the Tier 5 tech tree as rates before the Nazorn, but if you were to take a look at the German tech tree currently, well, you'd be looking at the Stug, which does branch off into both of the Tier 6 tank destroyers. Now, I personally really liked the Toaster, which, of course, was the nickname for this tank. It's an extremely deadly vehicle, all because of the gun mounted on it. It is, in fact, one of the biggest guns you'll find on a Tier 5 vehicle, an 8.8 flat cannon, the same type of gun you'd find on a Tiger 2, 2 tiers higher. It carries at Tier 5. It's got solid damage per minute at 1,876, and the penetration is through the roof at 194 millimeters. The standard pen on this vehicle is able to get through any Tier 6 armor profiles at pretty much any range. Then you load in the premium and yeah, you're just cutting through everything like glass. So the penetration on this vehicle is fantastic. Not only that, but it goes quick. It goes 60 forwards. It's got a good power to weight of 15.8. It's just a crazy, weird vehicle. That was a pretty dang fun one to play, but there is a little bit of an issue because as it is a toaster, well, you can see, yeah, there's not really any armor. In fact, the armor on this vehicle is 20 on the front and 14 on the sides, which means that even a Tier 1 vehicle, if we are to go take a look at a Tier 1 tank, has, I'm pretty sure, more penetration than the armor. Yes, it does. It's got 47 millimeters. So this vehicle here has almost 3 times the amount of penetration you would need to get through the toaster. But that is, of course, not what the toaster is known for. So, yeah, you got to be careful of Tier 6 battles, because vehicles like the KV2, oof, yeah, they're going to whip you right out of the game. But I figured, you know what? Let's talk about this vehicle before it was taken out of the tech tree, pre-5.5, and tell you why it is just such a fun vehicle. And in fact, we're up against one, so pretty funny at that. Now, this tank is also, because it is an 8.8 flat cannon, this was actually meant to be a anti-air vehicle. It was meant to shoot planes out of the sky, and that's why you can see it has no roof, because the gun is actually able to point very, very high up if we're able to, if I'm able to show you that. It's actually able to point higher up in PC, but if you take a look here, yeah, that gun's able to point really high up, and in World of Tanks PC, it's literally able to go completely straight up, which is crazy, but it is pretty funny on just how weird this tank looks, as you can see, but yeah, it's actually meant to shoot planes out of the sky. So, yeah, it's a pretty weird vehicle, but we'll see what we can do here, how much damage we can pull out. It is pretty quick, though, as you can see, getting all the way up to 60 kilometers per hour, very mobile. So here we are in position. Now, that gun is also very, very accurate for what it is. Again, it's an 8.8 gun, so very accurate at that. And we've got the Leopard all the way across the map. So are we going to be able to get a shell into him? Let's see. I doubt it. Yeah, that Leopard, he's backing up quite quickly, and it doesn't look like we're able to get a shell in. We've also got the M7, and we've also got vehicles in the middle. So not sure if the entire enemy team, where they're pushing or what they're doing, but let's fire a shot at that M7, and boom, going right into the side of his vehicle for 252 hit points. There's already one nice snap out. We'll see if we can get some more. The M4 Sherman's not really wanting to peek. We're just enjoying the view over here. It's pretty dang nice out. We've got the BDR in the middle, and the great thing is that you've got enough mobility to actually like reposition if you want to. So let's see if this BDR is going to give us his side. It doesn't look like he's actually going to, so that is a no from me currently, but I don't know where the rest of the enemy team is actually, so just gonna sit here. There we go, T1 Heavy, boom, another nice snap right into the side of that T1 Heavy. Let's put on our adrenaline here. Come on, reload, reload. Oh, just missing the side of him. That's a bit of a shame. All right, come on, we've got the butt of his tank. Let's get it in. No, back up. All right, if this shell hits, that will be a miracle. He might back up, though, to be fair, so we'll just keep aiming at his rear end. Come on, back up. Yes, there we go. Another nice snap to the side of the T1 Heavy, and the AT2 ammo racking him, which is quite funny, to be fair. So, again, we've just been getting at the damage like crazy here. Not, you know, the quickest amount of damage, but you can still see that camper loser. Yes, I love the Blitz meta, but we're just going to make our way into the front line now because we have that mobility, as I said, to push in very quickly. So we've got 2 tank destroyers on the enemy team. We've got an SU-85B, and as well we've got ourselves the PZ. So let's take a look if we can maybe get a shell in. We've got the Leo right there. Come on, aim in, aim in, aim in, and fire. Big shell going into that Leopard. Again, you can see that that Alpha is really detrimental for a Tier 5 battle, and we've actually done a pretty decent job here. So now we're just going to go look at the back of the map if we can find the Panzer. Actually, we might be able to... No, never mind. I was going to say we might be able to get a shell into the Leopard there, but it doesn't look like he's doing too well anymore. So all we have left are the 2 tank destroyers who I have a feeling are sitting back here. Yes, there's one. Let's see if we can get a shell into the side of him. Aiming, 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 and fire. Oh, yeah. Gotta love the HE on this vehicle. So there's one nice tap into the side of him. Oh, actually looks like the other guy is sitting across the map. So let's see if we can get a nice shell into the front. HE in the lower plate. Boom, 300 max roll. Again, got to love that average damage. I'm already sitting at 1,431 damage for the first game in this vehicle. Now, I know that the other Panzer is sitting all the way in the back of this map here, so let's see if we can get a shell into the side of him. Turn, and let's see if that hits. I don't know if that pens, but it may have actually hit him, so be very surprising if we did hit, but we'll take another blind shot because, of course, oh, why not? So let's take another one there. I actually think those could be hitting. I doubt it, but never hurts to try, right? So we could have hit him twice, or we could just be completely losing it. Oh, we are spotted. Come on, go, go, go. Go before we're hit. Oh, I think we actually did blind shot him, which is pretty dang funny to think about it. There's another nice HE into the Panzer. And, of course, we're going to get one final shell in, hopefully finishing him off. So, yeah, there you go. 284 hit points finishing him off. So that was a great game. 2,173 damage for the first battle pulled out in this tank. I'm not sure if that's mastery. No, it's actually only a second class. So you can see that the tank does perform very well. Just having an extremely strong gun makes a vehicle really deadly in the tier 6 and tier 5 matchmaker. It does, how much average damage? 270. That's actually really impressive on the average damage. So let's, of course, pull out one more game here. Hopefully keep up the good luck. Please don't put me against tier 7s. All right, tier 6s. Oof. Don't want to go up against tier 7s at all. Imagine the +2, -2 that PC has, and this vehicle is a tech tree tank, literally being one-shot by like your average tier 5 or tier 7 vehicle. Yeah, not super fun. So once again here, another tier 5 battle. Now, enemy tanks that I got to worry about. The Leopard, yeah, that's a deadly one. That's going to get a lot of damage out. And the Panzer 5/4, that's another deadly vehicle. But the nice thing is, again, I've got the deadliest gun, or should I say I have the best tier 5 gun, I can honestly say, in Blitz. This gun is just so deadly for what it is. 7-second reload, 220 damage. It's deadly AF. And because of that, you really don't want to mess with it. So let's see what we can do here. We'll see if we can get out some nice shells. I'm just going to make my way through the safe way into this position here. And there we go. So let's see if the enemy team is going to be pushing their tanks off to the side over here. We've got that mobility, as I said, to get in this position very quickly. Let's just destroy those little bit of crates. Oh, don't want that spike pushing me. We are spotted, which of course is not great. We can maybe get a shell into like the Churchill. Come on. And HE, boom, nice HE into the engine deck of his vehicle there for 268. Again, got to love the ability to get those big shells out. We'll see if we can get one into like the BDR. Aim and tap. Ooh, he did hit me back, but to be fair, we got a pretty big shell into him at the same time. And because we are a tier 5 tank destroyer, you'll notice that we've got actually a lot of hit points. We've got 700 more than a tier 5 heavy. Kind of weird. Yeah, it's got a lot of HP riding on it, which is kind of funny, but we'll see if we can get a shell out into this BDR. I've got to be a little bit careful at least, but there's another nice tap into the BDR. Not only that, but getting his engine hit as well. We'll get another nice tap into him. Come on. Yes, there's another nice tap, breaking his engine once again, and we should be able to get the finishing shell into him and fire. Yeah, there you go, but that was a big shell. He actually does know what HE is, it looks like, so ooh, that was not great for me. You can see that, yeah, the armor, not the best on the tank, but still a very nice amount of damage at that. We'll see if we can get a shell into the Sherman. Boom, nice shell, but we were taken out. So you can see the good things and the bad things about the Panzer. The Toaster, should I say. It has absolutely no armor, and because of that, the BDR, which was at least a semi-knowledgeable player, got a big high explosive shell into the side of my vehicle. But at the same time, we did do a pretty dang good job. I can't complain. We were able to do, again, about 1,200 damage or so that battle, so a pretty respectable amount, and it's just a fun tank. Oof, my BDR is not liking it too much. I will say, overpowered tier 5 tanks like the T1 Heavy, oh boy, you really don't want to mess with those things. But the great thing about like the Panzer here is that it can actually penetrate. Well, our vehicle's not going to be penetrating much, but this tank can actually get through a T1 Heavy's armor like butter, which most tier 5s can't. This thing pretty much makes armor irrelevant, which of course makes it really deadly against any vehicles at tier 5 or tier 6. So yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to win this, but as always, if you enjoyed today's video and you just enjoy these little tier 5 snippets, you want to see more like it, as I said, I'm going to be doing a couple more tier 5 videos every now and then, just because I think it's fun to talk about the lower tiers. A lot of people want to hear about the lower tiers and you really don't get to. So if you enjoyed today's video and you want to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. But other than that, hopefully all of you are doing well out there. Stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.